Essay number 14. Expectations you must let go of in your 20s. Your 20s are sold to you as this magical decade where you figure everything out, find your purpose, meet your soulmate, and lay the foundation for your extraordinary life. But what if I told you that most of what you believe about this decade is not only wrong, but actively sabotaging your chance at genuine happiness? Let's start with the most damaging expectation of all, that you're meant to be extraordinary. We live in a culture that worships the exceptional, the one-in-a-billion success story, the overnight sensation, the prodigy. We've been fed this narrative so consistently that we genuinely believe that being ordinary is a form of failure. But here's the math nobody wants to talk about. Extraordinary people are, by definition, rare. That's what makes them extraordinary. And recognizing this isn't giving up on your potential. It's dissolving the illusion that's keeping you from actually living your life. Because while you're waiting to become exceptional, you're missing the exceptional things happening in your ordinary life right now. The real question isn't how to become extraordinary. It's what work would you do even if nobody ever noticed? What would be worthwhile even if it never got a single like on Instagram? How would it feel to be deeply loved by 3 people instead of superficially admired by 3,000? Finding the exceptional in the ordinary, that's the real extraordinary. But we're too busy chasing viral moments to notice. Here's another uncomfortable truth you need to hear. You're not at the beginning of your life. I know, 20-something feels like the starting line, like you have endless time to figure things out, to make mistakes, to start over. But some of you watching this won't make it through your 20s. Others won't make it to middle age. Hell, some of you won't make it through this year. I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm trying to wake you up. Because this assumption that you have unlimited time is keeping you from taking your actual life seriously. You're treating your 20s like a practice run when this might be the main event. Let's talk about how you see yourself. Because chances are you're operating under this delusion that your faults are more forgivable and your strengths are more exceptional than everyone else's. It's human nature. We judge ourselves by our intentions and everyone else by their actions. We think our mistakes are understandable exceptions, while everyone else's mistakes reveal character flaws. This mindset feels protective, but it's actually keeping you small. If you can't acknowledge the magnitude of your poor choices, you're going to keep making them. If you think you can slide by because you're slightly more talented than your peers, you'll never actually push yourself to grow. You're not more special or more broken than anyone else. You're just human, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can actually start improving. Now about that lie you've been told since kindergarten. You can be whatever you want to be. This might be the cruelest expectation we place on young people. Because no, you cannot literally be whatever you want. If you don't have the IQ of a rocket scientist, you're not going to be a rocket scientist. If you don't have the physical coordination of a professional athlete, that career is off the table. Wanting something badly enough doesn't qualify you to have it. This isn't pessimism, it's freedom. Because once you stop wasting energy on impossibilities, you can focus on possibilities. You can find the intersection of what you're actually good at and what you actually enjoy. And if you're smart, you'll learn to be grateful for that intersection, even when it's not what you originally dreamed of. Here's something else you need to stop believing, that you can outsmart pain. Your 20s are this weird time when you still think you can think your way out of feeling bad. That if you just analyze enough, plan enough, prepare enough, you can avoid getting hurt. You develop these elaborate mental gymnastics to avoid feeling anything difficult. But you cannot predict pain. You cannot avoid it. You cannot think it away. And trying to do so means living a fraction of the life you're meant to live. Pain isn't a bug in the human experience. It's a feature. It's information. It's growth. It's proof that you're actually living instead of just existing. Let's destroy another illusion while we're at it. Love is not something other people give you. This is going to sound strange, but people cannot actually transmute emotions to you. When someone says, "I love you," they're not literally transferring love into your body. What's happening is that their expression gives you permission to feel the love that's already inside you. Think about it. You can be in a room with someone who loves you completely, but if you don't believe you're worthy of love, you won't feel loved. Conversely, you can feel love for someone who doesn't even know you exist. The love isn't coming from them, it's coming from you. Which means if you think love is something you have to earn or deserve or find in someone else, you'll never actually have it. And while we're talking about feelings, let's address this idea that feeling something deeply means it's meant to be. The intensity of an emotion is not a measure of its truth or destiny. Plenty of people feel deeply called to be famous, but don't have the skills or grit to make it happen. Most people feel deeply that they're marrying the right person, yet half of marriages end in divorce. You know what else is meant to be? Breakups, job losses, disappointments, rejections. How do we know? Because they happen constantly, and they're often the most important redirects in our lives. Stop treating negative experiences like glitches in the matrix. They're part of the program. This fantasy that if you work on yourself enough, you won't struggle anymore. Let it go. Working on yourself doesn't eliminate struggle. It helps you understand what the struggle is for. It helps you struggle better, with more purpose, with more grace. But the struggle never goes away. It just changes form. You also need to release this exhausting belief that you can control what other people think of you. You can control how you treat people, sure, but their thoughts, their opinions, those are theirs, formed by their experiences, their biases, their mood that day. The idea that behaving a certain way guarantees a certain response is a delusion that will have you performing your way through life instead of actually living it. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. They're going to misunderstand you, misrepresent you, project their issues onto you. And you know what? It has almost nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. So stop exhausting yourself trying to manage everyone's perception. It's impossible, and more importantly, it's not your job. Here's a particularly painful expectation to let go of. Hard work guarantees success. I know this goes against everything you've been taught, but working hard at something doesn't mean you'll get the outcome you want. The market might change, timing might be off, lucky breaks might not come, variables outside your control might align against you. The point of hard work isn't what it gets you, it's who you become in the process. That's the only thing you can actually control. The person you become through sustained effort, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through pushing past your comfort zone, that's the real reward. Everything else is a bonus. You probably believe that when your circumstances change, your thoughts will automatically change too. When you have money, you'll stop worrying about money. When someone loves you, you'll feel worthy of love. When you achieve success, you'll feel successful. But that's backwards. Your thoughts create your circumstances, not the other way around. Until you change your mental patterns, no amount of external change will make you feel different internally. Stop believing that other people are responsible for your feelings. I know it's trendy to talk about emotional labor and boundaries and toxicity, but at the end of the day, you're the one who decides what affects you and how. The only place you have complete control over your emotional environment is in your own home. Everywhere else, you're going to encounter people and ideas that challenge, offend, or upset you. That's not violence. That's diversity. If you want to go through life believing that everyone should cater to your emotional needs, you're going to have a miserable time. Growth doesn't come from everyone agreeing with you. It comes from learning to maintain your equilibrium even when they don't. Let me shatter some illusions about emotional intelligence while we're at it. Emotional intelligence is not never losing your cool. It's not being zen all the time. It's the ability to feel your feelings fully, express them appropriately, and interpret them accurately. Self-esteem isn't believing you're perfect. It's believing you're worthy of love despite being imperfect. And happiness isn't the absence of problems. It's how you relate to your problems. The right person will not come at the right time. There is no right time. You will not be ready when you meet the love of your life. You won't be ready for your dream job, or to buy a house, or to have kids, or to deal with loss, or to face your own mortality. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. You cannot save up happiness like money in a bank. You can't postpone it until you're thinner, richer, more successful, more loved. Happiness exists only in the moment you're feeling it. You either feel it now or you don't feel it at all. Every moment you postpone happiness is a moment of happiness lost forever. It doesn't accumulate, it doesn't wait, it just passes by. Stop treating anxiety like it's some annoying bug in your operating system that you need to fix. Anxiety is the alarm system that has kept our species alive for millions of years. If you're experiencing overwhelming anxiety, it's usually because you're not listening to what it's trying to tell you. There's something in your life that needs attention, some truth you're avoiding, some action you're not taking. Your anxiety is not your enemy. It's your messenger. And finally, let go of this idea that focusing solely on your own needs will make you happiest. Self-care and self-sufficiency are important, yes. They're the foundation, but they're not the house. Human beings are wired for connection, for purpose beyond themselves, for contribution to something greater. Meeting your own needs is step one, not the destination. The happiness that comes from committing to something beyond yourself, from sacrificing for people you love, from contributing to causes you believe in, that's the happiness that actually lasts. That's the happiness that makes life feel meaningful, even when it's difficult. Your 20s are not about becoming extraordinary. They're not about avoiding pain or controlling outcomes or waiting for readiness. They're about recognizing that life is happening right now, in all its ordinary, messy, imperfect glory. They're about understanding that you have less time than you think, less control than you want, but more power than you realize, the power to choose how you respond to all of it. Every expectation you release makes room for reality. And reality, it turns out, is where life actually happens. Not in your plans, not in your dreams, not in your carefully curated future, but right here, right now, in this moment that you're probably too busy planning for the future to actually experience. The question is, are you going to keep chasing expectations that were never yours to begin with? Or are you going to let them go and finally start living the life that's actually in front of you? Because that life, the real one, the messy one, the ordinary one, that's the one that's actually extraordinary. You just have to let go of enough illusions to finally see it.